What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday discussing that gaming shit. I am one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, Arthur Thomas. What's happening, man?
Nothing much. I did something I didn't think I would do. Involves pre-ordering and money to a publisher. I didn't think I would give money to. So I did a hard 180 from my last episode, but we'll talk about it soon.
I almost won a legit bet, but
Yeah.
I was too much of a pansy to commit to it. So, but we're gonna talk about that most definitely because I was definitely playing it, and then also Bacon too was playing with us for that weekend, and Ricky too.
Hell yeah, man!
Yeah,
a lot of good gaming moments.
Right, very nostalgic. Gaming moments.
I think my most nostalgic gaming moment to let us know we were playing a good game was when our buddy was like, tell my wife she's a bitch. Get him, soldier. You tell her yourself. Spoiler: the person in question doesn't actually have a wife. That was just a joke on play on old school World War II dudes dying with their wives back home.
Right. Tell the wife I love her. Tell her she's a bitch. You tell her yourself, Sergeant.
Yeah, a little combat medic going on of like, do you get home? You tell her yourself. No, she'll get the alimony from my grave.
Yes. Well, if you're watching this, hello. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel at G4L Podcast. That is where Arthur does the streams, the game streams on the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, our episodes, some of our audio episodes, of course, mainly the video ones here. We've got some a lot of news pieces here. So here at the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news where you can watch or listen to what you choose by clicking the links of the time code within the description of the episode, so you can go to what topic that you want to go to. And all things Gamers for Life is going to be linktree.com/Gamers for Life. And so you can also just watch the whole thing here with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast. Again, at G4L Podcast on our YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like. Arthur, Battlefield 6, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. It's actually good.
I'm like that song. I'm like that song from Shrek. I'm a believer. I didn't think I would have been. I was very, I would say, accurately harsh and concerned in our last episode. Joe's like, oh no, man, I'm hearing good things. And I'm like, fuck the things you're hearing. EA is ass.
Very fair response.
It's like, Arthur, you can't call a piece of dog shit. It's refined. It smells better. It's still fucking dog shit. Which EA as a whole still is. Madden 26 fans, looking at you. How's life over there? Still shit. I know.
Nice.
Don't waste your money. Madden 26 is still shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Battlefield 6 beta happened. We played both weekends. Holy shit. I was finding myself having
I'm so
fun.
glad. Oh, really quick. I'm so glad, by the way, that you decided to jump onto that, because originally I was just like, all right, I'm going to check out the beta. And you're like, yeah, whatever, And then I got a text from you like, hey, you need a squad buddy? I'm like, oh, yay.
I'm like, it's free. Well, cause also I found it was be 2 weekends. If it was just going to be like 2 days of flash and pan, I'm like, I got other shit to do. I'll rather play some dailies in Helldivers, play some other games. It was like, oh, I got 2 weekends that's like a lengthy time to try the game. That's like this is arguably feels like the longest beta collectively, and it wasn't consecutively, but collectively it feels like it was the longest beta we had in a long time. So I had more fun the first weekend because that was before we played the most hated map I have in that fucking game, which is Empire Heights. I hate that fucking map. It has no business being in the large map rotation. Get the fuck out. Why the fuck am I playing a map like Liberation Peak where it requires a car to go from end to end and relative to time, and veteran Battlefield players like myself are still saying that's still too small? Like, Gerald, you remember the Battlefield 1 map where it was A, B, C, D, and then E was like in the middle of nowhere, fuck off desert, and it took you forever to run there? Or you had to go in a plane and parachute out, or you get a horse, a motorcycle, or a vehicle to go to that one middle nowhere, fuck off fort at the bottom of a sandhill. Those are the Battlefield maps a lot of people are used to.
Yeah.
So Liberation Peak is like kind of moderate for a Battlefield scale. So to have again in their large map rotation to go from like I said Battlefield 1 size maps to fucking Empire Heights, get the fuck out. It's not a horrible map. It just does not belong in the large scale map rotation.
It doesn't belong in Battlefield. I agree 100%.
Get the fuck out. It was like the most COD map ever. Every time we join a match, that was Empire Heights. All the in-game chat was like, "Get this COD map out of here." I bet the COD players are happy. Fucking hate this like dog map, dog trash map, garbage map. Everyone is just like, hate this fucking map, or at least, like I said, at least minimum, just get it out of the large-scale map rotation, and it might please more people. Because again, it's not the worst map in gaming history. I'm just saying to go from to go from Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, and then for me, I skipped 5. I played 5 for like a couple hours. Skipped 2042. And then you play Liberation Peak. You play Cairo. Those are actually feels like large scale maps. They're so big you need tanks, cars, all this shit. And then go from like, yo, we're crossing 4 streets in Brooklyn. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right, absolutely.
But overall, yeah, the beta impressed me enough and got me nostalgic in a way I probably haven't been since Space Marine 2's launch, because Space Marine 2 was like, oh my god, I forgot action games could just be this good and this fun and this polished at launch. Like they had server issues, but the game itself, Space Marine 2 was just so good, and I feel like every time you and I play with somebody, we play with Asian, we play with Bacon, they're just like, oh my god, this game's so fun. And
Yep.
Battlefield 6 did that for a lot of people. And here we are. What, 15 minutes ago? I, Artis Fartis, pre-ordered the special edition of Battlefield 6. So not only did I pre-order an EA game, I pre-ordered a Phantom Edition. And here's the thing. It's been a while, Drell, that when a game comes out or I get my hands on it, and I'm like, fuck it. This is a game I'm taking the day off for. I'm like, I got my request in. I'm getting the day off. And also, too, shout out to EA being smart for 2 reasons. I know, I'm complimenting EA. What the fuck is going on? So, EA's releasing their game on a Friday, and there's no 3-day early access bullshit. Because I think that's something that removes the immersion and the excitement for a lot of games, is this 3-day early access bullshit, because there's no true quote-unquote launch day. We're all not jumping on it at the same time. We're all not on level playing fields. Especially this is a game drill, let's say, unlike Rivals, where a game like Rivals, yeah, you get skill with time, but it's not like you unlock new abilities, you unlock new traits, you unlock new whatever. Battlefield's a game that tangibly, you unlock new weapons, you unlock new perks, you unlock new attachments for your gun based on playtime. So by them not having this 3-day early access bullshit, fingers crossed, there's still time for them to shit the bed. But as of right now, it's coming out on a Friday. Instead of like, some companies doing like, oh, we're releasing a Monday, but 3-day early access to play over the weekend. I hate that. So it comes out on a Friday. Yeah, man.
Can you remind the folks the date of the release?
October 10th, 10/10.
Oh, okay, great.
It's like Skyrim -1. Skyrim was 11/11.
Right.
This is -1, 10/10.
Nice.
But yeah, man, Battlefield 6. It felt like we're back in the Battlefield. It felt like we're playing back in a classic Battlefield game. Bacon was shouting, "There's a scoreboard! There's a scoreboard!" Like, the most minimal wins. You get more points for headshots. And, Jarrell, what made me feel like everyone has their own litmus test, right? And mine is in a Battlefield game. Am I getting points for playing the objective? And am I getting points for playing my class role? So I'm getting, like, top 10, top 5. And there's a few games where I was top as a medic with less than half the kills as a person in second, but because I'm just defibbing anything with half a pulse, I'm just getting my points. And there's like snipers that got like 50 kills, and I got more points than them. I only got like 8 kills, but I revived the world. It's like, oh, oh, you got 50 kills, play the game better, nerd. And those moments is what helped me, Bacon and Asian, because we all played Battlefield 1 together, to let us know, oh shit, these core passive background elements, these background mechanics, are being brought back to the forefront that wasn't present in 2042 or Battlefield 5. So I can't, like I said, I'm hyped. Those moments you're just playing with your friends, shouting at your screen. Like, I feel bad. One of the few times, like, I'm sure my neighbors heard me actually properly fucking yell, was when you and all were all running and we turned we turned around the corner, tank, and just like top of my lungs just screamed, just out of fear.
You were driving and we were trying to get to D or something. And then
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. Welcome. I'm Arthur. Welcome to Jackass. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, Arthur. I'm like, we're here. Like, it's like, yeah. So again, just having those moments of just like hitting a rock at the right angle to turn it into a fucking ramp on Liberation Peak is great. Like F, going from F to C on Liberation Peak with one of those cars and just hauling it over that quarry hill is just gold.
yeah, and Bacon was like knifing down dudes. Like I was really surprised that he was able to get so many stealth kills in a Battlefield game. I was like, whoa, like crazy.
Spot, smoke, stab.
Yeah,
You spot him, you smoke him, you stab. And how did he get so many smoke grenades so quick? I was resupplying him. Ba-da-da-da.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I was really, really, really impressed with Battlefield 6. Enough to ask the deal for launch day. And here's the thing. Once I made the mental decision that I was going to play the game on launch day to the point where I'm asking for PTO, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take I'm taking the day to play this game day one of launch. The special edition comes with bonus XP. And I had a Steam wallet money left over for when I traded my Xbox, which you should too, because remember, everything's on Xbox. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I got PTO. I'm playing this game day one. I have money in my Steam wallet. So it actually only cost me like $10 out of pocket. Now you're saying it's like, Arthur, you still paid the money. But I'm like, okay, my bank account was only hit $10 because
right. That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
fucking, there's girl math and there's guy math. And guy math is like the guy math is my bank says I only spent $10 on Battlefield.
Yeah. What did I spend today? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, your value of the Steam wallet's still gone. I'm like, I only spent $10 on the Phantom Edition. So I'm just like, because honestly, all the skins and shit it comes with, I don't even care. Like, honestly, Drill, I haven't even looked up what the skins look like. My mentality was, I want the XP boosts. And which is curious because if I'm as hyped as I am now, solid chance, Drill, if they do the whole buy this Dr. Pepper for double XP for an hour or buy this Dorito for double XP per hour, dude, if they get back into that marketing, I'm about to go
all in, huh?
I'm about to go full high school Arthur fat ass fucking Halo
fuel.
gamer fuel double XP weekend, and just sacrifice the calorie for the XP gains.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Like I said, so many Battlefield moments were back. There is one topic I do want to bring up that I think the Battlefield community complains too much about, and this is me personally because I'm on the opposite end of it. A lot of people say they should remove open weapon classes for Battlefield. What that is the exact reason why I stopped playing Battlefield 5. What that is in Battlefield 1, you can unlock whatever weapon you want for any fucking class. I think Battlefield 1 did it the best. Mind you, I never played Battlefield 2042. But I think Battlefield 1 did it the best where if you want to be a sniper, the sniper class unlocks the best snipers. You want to be an assault with a shotgun, assault unlocks the best shotguns. But you can unlock a shotgun or a sniper for any class, it'll be considered kind of a shit, not great weapon because your class is meant to specialize in this. So like the medic in Battlefield 1 was supposed to specialize in like single fire rifles, not quite DMRs, but almost like the Grand, like poof 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 ping, like those type of guns. And the Battlefield 5 said, nope, you have to use this. And because they brought the open weapon class system back to Battlefield 6, people are upset, like, no, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, fuck you, it doesn't make sense. You're telling me a soldier, what? Does he vaporize? If a recon soldier that's trained to use a sniper rifle picks up an SMG, they just turn to ash like a Thanos snap. What the fuck are we talking about? God, no. If a soldier is trained to use a sniper rifle, just have him pick up a shotgun. Yeah, there's probably going to be more recoil. There's probably going to be more reload time. There's probably going to be more weapon sway. Who cares? Let us use it. Like, the freedom of choice in games is a benefit, not a deterrent. And like I said, I think Battlefield 1 did it the best. Because Battlefield 1 did the weapon classes for everyone, but lower quality style weapons. Battlefield 6 is a hard rebound where 1-for-1, seemingly, when you unlock a gun, at least based on the beta, because I got the max 20. I maxed out. I did all but 2 challenges in the beta, so I got my time in. Okay, so it seemed like when you leveled up your main class, like your main level, you unlocked other weapons for all to use. I can't remember if leveling up, let's say, the recon class, you get a sniper that just that recon class can use. I don't think that was the case. And if it was, then I'm surprised that so many people were complaining about it and writing articles about it, because those two things don't make sense. That's why I think that's not the case, because it wouldn't make sense to complain about open weapon class systems if there's in fact not a true open weapon class. So that's why I think when I recall, Battlefield 6 did the hard opposite from Battlefield 1. It's like, fuck it, you want to watch a sniper? Anyone could use this particular sniper. So I do get that minimal gripe. I do. But that doesn't mean we should go the extreme of just removing it completely. And here's the thing too, Drell. Even for choice, why players like choice, guess what, Drell? Do you remember the lobbies? There's entire lobbies that are just weapon class closed lobbies, where you can join a lobby where the medic, the engineer, the assault, are only using guns that they were quote unquote supposed to be using. So I think that's a trade-off for people like me that want to use what I want to use, and the two, quote unquote, lore accurate military wise. Again, shot in the dark. If a sniper in the Navy SEALs, picks up a shotgun, his hands don't blow up. Just guessing here. So that's a side conversation that's kind of happening with the community and some game journalists, where it's really surprised me, Joe, like how many in the community and game journalists are like against open weapon classes. And like I said, if I'm on the fringe, fine, it wouldn't be the first time. But like I said, that mechanic is literally what took me out and never came back to Battlefield 5. Now, if you're like, Arthur, 6 months after launch, they brought it back. And I'm like, cool, I was done by then. You know what I mean? Like, I always say this example. It's like, hey, if I get, like food poisoning from a restaurant, they have a new menu. Well, cool, it's still the same fucking restaurant. I don't feel like getting food poisoning again. It's not enough to bring me back. But yeah, I'm surprised you, Joel, how much fun I had. Like, how much fun I think we all had playing with each other. And cross-platform worked fine. At one point, we had all three covered. Like, there were us, me and you on PC, and then someone was on Xbox, and then someone was on PlayStation. So that works seamless, and I'm really impressed how seamless that is. Mind you, it's because if you have not done this already, you'll have to link your EA account to your console or to whatever. Link your EA to Steam, link your EA to Microsoft, link your EA account to your PSN. But once you do that, it was seamless. Like you just go to friends, and it's their EA gamer tag. You just invite them to the party. Done.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. There's a lot of signs for me that indicated that this seems like a very different Battlefield that I think people are going to be, kind of back in open arms or just kind of back into the Battlefield space, especially with the 2 weekend beta. I said, dang, I said that's kind of ballsy because imagine if they had a 2 weekend beta and the first week sucked. You know what I mean? Like the beta numbers would go down exponentially for the second one. Like so it's kind of like a ballsy move to have a 2 weekend beta. But I do think logically it makes a lot of sense, and then also just shows the confidence of the work that they've put in, into the game. Um, I'm with you on the open weapon class. I think it's fine how it is so far. I don't think removing that I don't think makes a whole lot of sense, especially with your analogy as far as like if a sniper rifle, if a guy who's a recon picks up a machine gun, what he just can't use it. Like that doesn't make any sense, So I mean, I'm the same when it comes to like engineer, right? Like I like using what I want to use for my main weapon, and then I still have the engineer stuff, and then I still have my RPG. So I'm just like I like being able to switch different weapons in an engineer class as well. So, and then obviously too, like if you're using a certain weapon for a certain amount of time, like you can unlock, if you're using your recon weapon or whatever for a specific period of time, even if you were swapping different weapons, like whichever one you put more work into, you can unlock the next weapon within that particular class. So I'm like, everybody really wins at this point. It's like I don't really see an issue with it, So yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, there's a lot of signs here where I'm just like, this is really nice, and you have a great point with the cross-platform. I think that was an excellent move. I feel more companies should adopt that. You know what I mean? Like cross-platform obviously is the future. You know what I mean? It's like game exclusivity doesn't really exist anymore. And to me, and I used to be team exclusivity. You know what I mean? As far as just like, I know a lot of people were, as far as like people were proud of having Halo on an Xbox platform. I was proud of having, the Uncharted series, Last of Us, like that stuff on a PlayStation platform. But now it's just like we just want like I just want to play games with my friends. You know what I mean? Like I just want to play games with my friends, and I don't care what console they have. And we're at a point now where Sony is being crazy about that because we used to talk about all the time on this show as far as how anti cross platform they were, back in the day. So I'm glad they're finally adapting to the changes now, and especially with everything else. But back to Battlefield, very excited, man. I think I might be pre-ordering that alongside with you. And I haven't pre-ordered anything since Space Marine 2, that we played, but I just felt, and I know you were just like, what the no, fuck that, that I completely understood, but I just felt signs. I was just like, I feel like it was like the burning bush was talking to me. It's just like, this is a different Battlefield, So the main thing that I worry about, and I hope that, like we always worry about, that they don't fuck it up after. You know what I mean? That they make changes that really fuck it up, and they don't try to douse it back. So, and I do like this pushback with a lot of these Call of Duty players, like, waiting to have it be more Call of Duty, and they're like, no, this is a Battlefield game. You have Call of Duty to go to if you want to play Call of Duty games. Like, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah.
And
Go
to
ahead.
that Call of Duty note, that's like a one for one thing. So specifically, the movement style in Battlefield 6 was balanced. You can say nerf, it was lessened. Whatever number you used, it was changed, okay? And they did it so it can't be exploited and to be more accurate. Like if you're sliding, like right now, go right outside and do a baseball style slide and jump. And if you're over 30, don't. But let me know how that goes for you. So I said they balanced some of that stuff to like, if you're gonna keep on jumping, each like subsequent jump is like less verticality, and then like longer for the actual jump to take place, because they didn't want, like, say, Call of Duty players like doing bullshit. And Battlefield's in that weird middle ground where it's not quote unquote like a simulator like Arma or some of the games that Bacon plays. but it's also not fucking Call of Duty, which people were like thought Control 2 was being announced at the Gamescom trailer, which we'll get into. And for me, it's like I call Battlefield like the Forza racing games. I know a lot of people it's like roll their eyes because they think Forza is shit, but whatever. But when it comes to Forza and Battlefield, like I said, it's not a true like one-to-one simulator. Like I said, you got Arma 3 and a few other games that are like true simulators, and you have other shit that's like say Call of Duty, maybe to a point. Titanfall 2. It sounds weird to put Titanfall 2 in the same category as like Call of Duty, but you know what I mean? Just like you fucking calling robots. Okay, it's super realistic. You just this is what it'd be like if you call it. I'm just saying, but that's why I think Battlefield Lane is in that middle where it's like it won't be as I don't want to say. I feel bad as saying as boring as the simulator, but like for like I said, Arma and that genre, it's like if you're in it, if you're not in it for the simulation and the accuracy, you might find games like that too slow, or you die too quickly and you have no idea from what. Because again, when you die, it's like Saint Peter tells you he was over there. You know what I mean? So, so that's why I think Battlefield's lane is that middle ground where it's like it's real. Like some of the mechanics are realistic, but it's not unfathomable on the other side of the spectrum. So for them to actually say like, no, this isn't Call of Duty style mechanics. This is Battlefield. Welcome to Battlefield. We'll see you in October. So I'm happy to see that. I am nervous, Drell, because they did put hints that they may be doing corpo bullshit upside downside at some time out from now, where they've since the beta has ended. They've said that in like 5 to 6 years time, this may be like an annual release of like Battlefield now being annually. And I knew about that before I did my pre-order, so I'm just like, there's a solid chance that will still fuck up the series, but I don't know, man. I was like, fuck it. Let me try
at least
it.
we know this. At least we know this one's gonna be solid, and that does suck too, right? But I feel like that is sadly in today's era. That is just what comes with just these corporate fucking bullshit companies that you're gonna have. You're gonna have that, you know, where there's like, we want this every year. Like, yeah, no shit, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have quality games every year, you know. So it's just it sucks that that's even a thing. Because to me, it's special that it's been X amount of year. You know, well, how many years has it been since 2042? Like 3 years.
Not long enough. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. You know, but the fact that it's been so long, and I think this is going to be the first Battlefield in a long time that actually has a campaign as well.
True. Yeah.
So that's special also just in itself. Um, you know, so as far as every the hype, that's a part of the hype. At least for me, that's a part of the hype. As far as like, wow, because we were just talking about, we're like, where can we really go for a quality first person shooter that isn't some Call of Duty bullshit, So, and Delta Force was okay, but Delta Force was, it's just an online game. It doesn't really have an identity. It's just kind of like whatever. So like, it's nice to have Battlefield being back and how it's being back. So I'm very excited. How much was the Phantom Edition, if you don't mind me asking?
The face value price was I think 99, but
Okay.
like I said, because my Steam wallet, I paid $10.
Oh, okay, right on, right on. See, I got to think about that if I want to jump it, to get it. I might make some slight adjustments to my PC just so it's in an upgrade path if I need to upgrade it. Since PlayStation, 5 went up $50 and all that bullshit. I'm thinking about just upgrading my motherboard a little bit more powerful of a CPU and just keep my GPU until I need to absolutely upgrade it. But then that way, it's like it's $200 to upgrade, but it would be in an upgrade path for the next 7 years or whatever it is. Like I'll have like a lot of options to upgrade my PC, but I think I'm going to do that just because I think I'm just going to stay on PC. But very excited about this Battlefield 6 stuff. So kind of moving along here. I know it's been a little bit since we've had a show. It's because life, life stuff. But I know one of the things that happened as we were chilling. and doing stuff, adult stuff. Bungie CEO left, took his fancy cars with him, uh, and I think, yeah, and I don't think anyone's really sad about this, right?
Nope, fuck them.
Yeah, yeah, I think everyone's really sad about this, and then also too, which I find interesting is, to me, it just shows how much of a waste of money I feel like it was to even to even purchase Bungie that Sony did, So in this marathon game, like they're like it was ridiculous. They're being interviewed about like just like first like the art stealing, right? That whole thing, and then finally they copped to it, but they responded in such like a corporate nasty way as far as just like, well, we've been thinking of we've heard we hear you guys, and we're gonna work on the game more. We're gonna push it back, And I'm just like, I said, you guys didn't get it. I said this game's going to fail. I was like, the game is going to fail, And like, cause I remember watching that initial trailer, and it just started with in the gameplay of Marathon. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I playing here? You know what I mean? Like, just at least act like this is some type of a game other than just some run and shoot thing, So
I still say Marathon looks like Apex Legends with a pastel color palette.
I think that's a very accurate. It's a very accurate statement.
It for me it looks like Apex Legends. They took away all like the like not ray tracing but like the art style and just made it more plain with like pastel types of colors. So it looks like to me. I'm like
Yeah,
I'm
and
like
and honestly, I think Apex looks better.
it
keep a buck. You know what I mean? At least Apex has its own identity, and like, it has a certain story thing that I don't really care to go into, but at least it has it, right? But yeah, this seems like a very plain, palette of Apex 2. And I mean, the music sounds pretty good, but other than that, I'm just like, I am not interested in this at all.
Jim Ryan's legacy at Sony was live service, and they're going to be
Yeah,
hurting on that for a long time. Like I
yeah,
said, Concord costed Sony upwards of $200 million. Like
yeah,
we had talked about, and I had talked about before, that this new in modern entertainment, because it's in shows, it's in movies, it's in games. Um, the kids call it toxic positivity. Back in day, it was rephrased as being surrounded by yes men. And when you're surrounded
yeah.
by yes men, um, you have like an Emperor's New Clothes situation where, yes, someone's technically asking the question, do you think this is a good idea? And if everyone's too nervous to not get fired or blacklisted, more towards the movie industry, blacklisted, then you're going to have a bunch of people blowing smoke up your ass and be like, this is a great idea. Disney, you know how to Disney. This is such good writing. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Oh my God, people are gonna be saying Darth Vader who? You know, that's dude. Real quick, drill. That scene in the Acolyte when it hit my feed, I think it was like through an Instagram reel. Swear to God, I thought it was an SNL skit. I thought SNL was making fun of Star Wars. I thought it was just like, what writer had a failed slam poetry bit that didn't win the competition, and it just ate at them for the next couple of years, and then they greenlight putting that in a Disney thing. But what we're saying is, so Jim Ryan's legacy was like live service, just like remember Joel, it was like 13 games or like a certain number of games would be live service. Concord, and then now the new one coming up. What's it called? Fair Games.
Oh my god! And they announced that it's not getting canceled. I'm just like, the game's gonna fail anyway. But I'm just like,
It,
you guys are like really smelling your own farts at this point.
it's like smelling their own farts and they're eating their own shit because Jarrell, think about it. If you say I'm gonna I'm gonna release 13 live service games, you're your own competition. Like I said, looking back, that type of concept in gaming really I feel like came to the forefront from like Guitar Hero and music games. They came out of nowhere, and before we knew it, there was a lot. And I was like, I can't keep up. I'm not buying the new shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people did buy the new shit, and they put money investing in the new shit. No one bought it. They went under.
You know what's funny about that? I think that is a good point. I still have a soft spot for some of those games though, like the DJ Hero, Guitar Hero, Rock Band. Um, there was a really nice point within that particular time in history where like this is kind of fun, like a game where it was almost like the very last of split screen gameplay that wasn't a shooter. Like it was very fun to have like one friend at the drums, the fake drums, one friend on bass, one person on a microphone, and you're playing through this song. That was a very special moment that I feel like we're never really going to get again. So like I do appreciate that. I remember doing that after high school, playing friend's apartment, and it's a very special moment. And I kind of like I almost want to get that stuff again for like my nephews and stuff. You know what I mean? Like for them to experience that. But no, you're right. It was like everyone did it, and I was like, no, that's not what we should be doing here. And then yeah, again, your point. It's the same with like the Connect stuff. Like everyone wanted to have like a Connect like thing, and then so it's like we have to stop these trends. And you all right. I think Jim Ryan did a lot of harm, and it's crazy because he's worked with Sony for over 30 years. And it's like, damn, I didn't know he was poisoning Sony for 30 years. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
It's I feel like it's that scene from Ready Player One where you find out the current CEO of Fuck Off Gaming corporate company was just like some no name fuck asshole with fuck asshole ideas at the company. And I feel like that's like Jim Ryan's like true resume. He was like a dude that was
Yeah.
there, had fuck off ideas that may make money, and so they promote him. Like I said, the Jim Ryan slash Phil Spencer era. Phil Spencer's still there, but I'm saying when they were like quote unquote toe to toe, console war 2.0, whatever. The wins of Sony were by chance. How do I use to describe this? The wins during Jim Ryan's era just happened to happen during his era because other people make good decisions. The wins
Yeah.
under Xbox, you can credit Phil Spencer to. Now, when Sony had more wins, they were like coincidental, just more wins because fucking God of War Ragnarok, and no one looks back and goes like, "Man, I'm so glad Jim Ryan was there to make sure God of War Ragnarok was doing good." You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people that like they try to give him kudos, and I'm like, the game would have sold just as well. I was like, let's not give him credit that he does not deserve credit for.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, and then he's really responsible for. I'm of the belief that he's responsible for a lot of these delistings of games that just happened recently, like a lot of these digital games
Oh,
that were
100%.
only right, and then a lot the start of that was he was talking about like, oh, hey, we need to take down the PS3 stuff, and we were like, what? It was
Remember,
just like
Darrell, focus on blockbuster games.
Blockbuster Games. And I remember there is a guy working with IGN. I don't even know if he's there anymore, but I appreciate him being honest. He said that really pissed me off. He was just like, who the fuck is this guy that comes in and just feels that these older games that people don't want them anymore. It's like you have early adopters buying your consoles. Why would you think that they wouldn't want the earlier stuff that you purchased? So it was just a very naive and just corporate bullshit thing, and I mean, I'll be honest, that's, people that are emulating a lot of this stuff because it's like they can't play it anywhere. It's taken down. You know what I mean? So it's like you guys want to talk about the preservation of gaming through your other consoles, but then you want to remove stuff that no one can play anymore unless they do like an emulation thing. So it's like, whose fault is it at the end of the day? So yeah, I feel like Jim Ryan is really responsible for that. And then a lot of this live service stuff too, like even though like in their, in the back house of Sony, like, oh, we're gonna release 12 live service games, or whatever, like, but that ignited a flame throughout the industry, and that's why a lot of these sale metrics are ridiculous. Like it sucks and even though Battlefield 6 isn't, I mean, I guess technically it's a live service because you play online, but the fact that they wanted to make like 100 million or whatever the fuck it
Yeah,
is, like,
that's the other thing about Battlefield 6. What Joel's referring to is we always say what the fans and industry considers a flop is night and day different than what these publishers and investors consider a flop. And more often than not, the internal flops are considered because they had this stupid, unrealistic fucking goal where like Final Fantasy 16 sold millions of copies, but it was still considered a flop through Square Enix because their own internal goals to please investors. And we're like, who the fuck is saying this? And then it was like, it was some quote where over the next X years, under its lifespan, they're like, we would have, it was some ungodly number, like 100 million users. It was like, dude, this isn't TikTok. Those are app numbers. Those are not like games. Those are just like Battlefield 6 won't be the next Google, my dude.
Right.
Like,
It's not gonna be the next Fortnite. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, this is
you
a
can't open
moment
your
in
email
time.
on it. We can't use it at work.
Crazy.
What the fuck are you talking about? So with the Bungie CEO leaving, after laying people off a while back, after bringing employees over to show off his new fleet of cars, fuck him. Good rinse. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I love some of the comments though. Oh, I love when the internet's. I'm like, hey, by the way, whatever his name is, if you want ID to keep you busy during retirement, I hear if you make your own submarine and use a Mad Catz controller, it'll work great.
That is amazing. That is an amazing.
So,
comment.
yeah. So yeah, the Bungie CEO is out. No one gives a shit. No one knows what the future of Bungie is. Again, back to Jim Ryan. Why did Sony buy Bungie? For its quote-unquote entertainment, to use it as a form of entertainment for future customers. Like they wanted to make a show or a movie or a series about it, which we've yet to hear of. So it's like, if that was the case and you were looking to use it for the entertainment industry. By the way, Sony Pictures, fucking garbage. Like, Sony Pictures drill, Madam Web, what's that new Craven the Hunter, Morbius, whose dumbasses put in theaters twice. Like I said, dude.
I would say new Sony Pictures is trash because Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Spider-Man 2. Those are good games, goddamn, or good movies, goddamn it.
Yeah, but that was like 20 years ago. This is a new era. This is like
that's why I said new Sony Pictures. It's
Sony Pictures for the past like Sony Pictures since they lost Spider-Man has been shit, and even then they still weren't amazing. Like I still say the ending to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 2 was fucking weird. Because remember, all the trailers showed Rhino, the movie posters showed Rhino.
That wasn't a very good movie.
And turns out it was Paul Giamatti, intimidating villain at the age of fucking 55, 5'2" of him, was just like the ending, like 60 seconds of wasn't a fight, just on camera because it cuts before the fight. So yeah. So first off, let's back this up. They paid almost what Disney paid for fucking Star Wars, billions of money. They paid almost Star Wars fucking money for entertainment purposes, and your plan was to give it to your Sony Pictures team that made Madam Web. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
so,
no, that's a good point.
I have no idea what the future
terrible.
of Bungie is. I'm sure Destiny 2 may still be fun. From what I hear, every time they release a new patch or update, it just pisses people off. I don't
you mean
know.
Destiny 2? Destiny 2. I thought they were done. Yeah, because I guess they did release a new DLC, huh?
Probably.
So they're still making shit for that. Yeah, I stopped playing that shit years ago.
I said I will give minimal credit where credit is due. At the time I owned Destiny 1, it was by far the most gorgeous game I owned.
Yeah, they did.
Now clearly, whether you like or hate it, they put all their efforts into the gameplay because their story was Peter Dinklage reading off a script on a fucking 1980s Nokia fucking brick phone because it just sounded like shit, and the entire story was during the loading screens. So, but yeah, so I don't know what the future of Bungie is, let alone Destiny.
Yeah,
Marathon. And again, here's the thing too, Drill. Competitors. Let's say Marathon's a hit. You're Bungie. What the fuck do you do with Destiny 2? If Marathon's a hit, you see what I'm saying? Like they're their own fucking competitor. And Sony has yet to realize it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, it's funny. I just think it's funny just because they made that purchase. They almost made that. I feel like they almost made that purchase on the strength of thinking that like they still own the IP to Halo when like it's like Halo's like 343 was working with Halo and all that stuff, and now it's gonna be over on Sony, like on Sony and Xbox, like just like on everything pretty much at this point. So it's just like you guys just you guys got ripped off, paying that much for that company. Um, but yeah, so I mean, speaking of things that used to be on Xbox, the Xbox handheld that we've been talking about here for the past couple of episodes, we finally got official pricings. I know Gamescom they're talking about it, but it looks like the white our Xbox ROG Xbox Ally, the underpowered one's going to be I believe it's 549 according to the AI here, and then the Xbox Ally X, which is the one in black, is going to be 899. God damn. So I mean, after tax, you're looking at almost $1,000. And then for the Xbox Ally X, it looks like the release date is going to be October 16th. They say that it has some corners to kind of underpower or to not make Windows as intensive, but it seems like it's more of a skin than an actual Xbox OS. Like if they made an Xbox OS that was built off of Steam OS, I think it would be a much more interesting handheld. But to me, it's basically like a launcher over an Xbox over ROG Ally. So I kind of am not impressed enough to get an Xbox Ally because I purchased an ROG Ally. It's now a server for me because the battery life is so bad. So I just plug it in and make it a wireless server to play games via Moonlight. But yeah, I mean, that's so much money, bro. That's so much money. Like that's ridiculous. Like that's
900.
ridiculous.
And here's the thing too, the more I put my brain to this, what's if everything is an Xbox? Their words. What's to stop me and stop customers from using their phone and buying a gaming accessory like the backbone and playing your Xbox games on your phone? Because like a famous Blizzard convention once went, what? You all have phones, right? So yeah, so you know what I mean, it's like the more
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
so on one hand everything's an Xbox, including your phone or tablet, but you should spend $900 on this piece of hardware
Right. If
before
everything's an
tax.
Xbox,
Nine
who
hundred
is this
dollars,
for?
$900 before tax. So our old store, that sales tax will get ya. But yeah, yeah. So it's like I
Yeah.
said, the more I think about it, and like I said, the more I think about it, I don't know what are I really can't think of the benefits of just having Game Pass Ultimate with the cloud, buying a backbone for what feels like $30 or not 900, which is an accessory to turn your phone into a controller, and just do what they advertise and stream games through the xCloud on through your phone.
Yeah. I no, you're making a great point, Arthur, and I think they missed the mark, right? I feel like they really missed the mark on this because I feel like the only time or the only scenario where this would make sense for someone to actually buy this is if they need a new PC, right? They love games, they travel a lot, they want to have a powered PC, they obviously want to do Game Pass. This fits within that, but that's a very niche market. It's an incredibly niche market, and then also this is kind of pissing on the console, like the console owners, right, of the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X, and to be completely honest with you, this is going to struggle streaming at 1080p. Like that has already been like a known issue, which the Xbox Series S can stream in that. So it's almost like you're buying an almost $1,000 product where you have something that's $300 to $400 less, like the Series S, that can stream that. So it's like, why are you really buying this? So it's like, unless you're that niche market that wants a powerful PC, travels a lot, wants Game Pass, that this would be the thing. I feel like they should have designed something similar to like the Xbox, or the LGG Cloud, or the Absolute Cloud One, where it's a handheld, but it's dedicated for streaming. And they could have priced that at $300 or maybe 350 or even 400, but it's specifically designed to do cloud streaming at a high tier, 7-inch screen, really nice, but so you don't have this Windows thing to deal with, the Windows platform or whatnot. Because if you're mainly going to be streaming, but it's going to be streaming at a very low bit rate, just because it's not the how it's designed. It's not going to give you all of the things, like unless you're connected to Wi-Fi or whatnot. So it's just there's a lot that doesn't make sense here. To my point, like from my point, like there's a lot that doesn't make sense here, especially if it's going to be mainly Wi-Fi streaming. Like, why do this all on a Windows platform in the first place? There's just a lot that doesn't make sense for me for this handheld. Like, I think the RG Ally, when it comes to PC handhelds, it makes sense if that for that niche market, that I was telling you about. But when it comes to someone who used to be a console owner, and like you said, I can just buy a backbone. I have my phone, I can connect it to it, or I can even use like a GameSir mobile phone controller. Those are great, and hook it up to it, and then I can call it a day. And I can save almost $1,000. Like what? Who would like? I have a strong feeling this is going to be massively discounted, or they're just gonna like after a year, maybe even less than a year. This thing's going to be canned, and I think they're going to lean towards something very more similar to the LG Cloud, and have something that's really specific for Game Pass. Because like it's been, I think is the Game Pass still in beta mode, Arthur? I know for the longest time we were using Game Pass and we're like, oh, it's still in beta because it said beta next to the thing when the little fucking jet was flying.
The cloud was specifically in beta. The cloud, okay. And that's a question I don't know. I think it's done, but I feel like every time you and I look into this,
yeah,
it's because like they've rebranded their stuff so much, I've lost track. But you're right. For years, the xCloud was like xCloud parentheses beta. So now it's like play everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like,
yeah.
And there's, the answer question I don't know because like I said, they've rebranded this shit so much,
right?
That I've lost track. And just here's some numbers for you. The Steam Deck, the Steam Deck, the most expensive model is $650 before tax. You also get 1 terabyte of storage. It's an OLED screen. In terms of performance, I will say the Steam Deck has 16 gigabytes of RAM. The most expensive one. So the Steam Deck, real quick. So Steam Deck has 3 models. Steam Deck has 3 models for $400, $550, $650. The most expensive Steam Deck is, I think, cheaper than the cheapest. What was the price of the cheaper?
$549 according to the internet. Yeah. So
the most expensive Steam Deck is $100 more than the cheaper Ally X Ally. But in terms of performance, the Steam Deck, just referring to the most expensive model, has 16 gigabytes of RAM. The most expensive $900 Ally X has 24 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just think dollars for donuts. Like the Steam Deck is still like there's a reason why the Steam Deck has been around for 3 to 4 years, and it's still people still are comparing it against some of these newer things just because it's just a quality handheld. It's arguably the best PC gaming handheld that's been made, and I think that's pretty fucking incredible for what's that guy's name that I hate on Steam?
Gabe Newell.
Yeah, Gabe Newell. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I think he's a genius, but I'm just pissed because I don't have Half-Life 3 yet. But it's pretty amazing. His
yacht. It's okay.
It's pretty amazing that has been accomplished, and I know they're working on another one. And if they're working on another one, Xbox is in trouble. Like, I think Xbox is in trouble from a hardware perspective. So that's why I'm just like, they've already devalued their consoles. Like the percentage of their console sales have gone down since everything is an Xbox marketing campaign happened. It's like, imagine when, the Steam Deck 2 comes out, and all this stuff. So,
one thing too, Jarrell, the Ally X is not OLED.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Interesting. Even the $1,000 one.
Yep, they have the same display.
Oh, same screen. Okay.
So the display is the same. 1080p, 120 hertz, Gorilla Glass Victus anti-reflection. Now here's the thing: if turns out the Ally X is OLED, I'm on the official. I don't know what happened. Why my background's doing a thing. Um, I know I'm on the official Xbox website, and when you do Control F for OLED, nothing shows up.
Interesting. Yeah, that is really interesting. I will say the screen for the Ally, because I believe it's actually the same screen as the just the regular ROG Ally. It is a solid screen. It is a really solid screen. So at least, even if it's not OLED, which is very disappointing, it's still like one of the best screens on like an 86 x86 handheld. So
Mm-hmm.
interesting stuff there. But yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see how this thing sells, and maybe I'm fucking wrong, and it sells great. I don't know, but I have a big feeling that it will not.
And here's the
There's
thing: I
just too
feel
much
like,
competition.
and here's the thing: I feel bad because when people are like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to it," I'm like, "Why? Everything's an Xbox. Use your phone."
Exactly. Which is the
There was
minefield that they started, right?
Yeah,
They started that minefield, and now they're going to walk into it themselves. So,
yeah.
um,
So I get I don't know. They, I guess if you're traveling where there's no consistent internet, like on a flight or something, cool. Go play Silk Song on a flight with battery that may last. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
yeah,
just we'll
yeah,
see. I think that price point is laughably huge. And I will say for its components, like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not saying the components in the Senate don't warrant that. I'm just saying to tell the consumer in this economy, $900 to play Xbox games on the go when you've advertised multiple times that our phones can do that. Like you said, you're right. It's someone that wants to get into PC gaming, but that doesn't feel comfortable spending $1,000. So they'll save $100, $200 buying this, which any PC gamer will tell you, just save a few more $100 and make the massive leap to get in the PC gaming for that price point.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because you could build something way more powerful for $899. You know what I mean? Like, and then it would be sustainable for many years. You wouldn't have to worry about the battery, right? The battery will be an issue eventually because that's just how PC shit is, especially when it comes to mobile PC stuff. So that will be an issue. So if you just build a PC with that amount, it would be way more powerful. So
I just did a quick Google gaming laptop, 24 gigabytes of RAM. Bam, $800 plus.
yeah. And then they have the RTX 550, which I know is like similar to like a 350 technically. But I mean, from looking at a 7-inch screen, yeah, you're gonna get way more value, like just buying like a gaming laptop or building your own, So it's just, and I guess in theory, like that's always been the thing, right? But it's just, yeah, it's just more. The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, this really doesn't make sense for the Xbox to really pushing this for that amount of money, especially when they say everything is an Xbox months before. So,
Yeah,
um,
and comparing apples to apples, sorry to stick on this, Asus, like I'm on newegg.com right now. Yeah, Asus. Yeah, you can get like $1,200, $1,300 plus. So it's like just save up a little bit more money and you get one for one an Asus made hardware. That'll be more powerful through something else. I don't know.
right, right. So I know two main things. The last things here on the show. One of them was the Gamescom announcements. I know you
Yeah,
were kind of more in tune with what was announced.
yeah.
What were you kind of excited about that was announced at Gamescom?
So as we start to wrap up, my top three announcements were in no particular order, just off memory because I didn't take notes. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Total War 4 Dawn of War for Warhammer. Which I need to get into because the Dawn of War series is one of those Steam sales I bought. Drill where it's like, look, buy every Dawn of War for like $10 and never play them. So I have the first three with all their expansions, which is an RTS series. Kind of think of like Command and Conquer, but Warhammer 40K. The Lego Batman game. It looks so good, Jarrell. You need to watch that trailer. You need to watch that trailer. I think it's called Legacy of the Dark Knight, where you're playing as various Batman iterations, where there's Michael Keaton's Batman, there's the Christian Bale Batman, and like Arkham City. The best way to describe it is, how there's like an entity exists, and there's like the Lego version of it, Lego Star Wars, Lego Indiana Jones, right? This is Lego Arkham City, the game. Like, Drell, there's takedowns.
That sounds really dope.
Drell, there are stealth takedowns. There's aerial takedowns. There's combos. It's Arkham fucking City Lego. I was sitting there, I was messaging you why the fuck does this Lego game look like it has better fucking combat than Rocksteady's newest Suicide Squad bullshit? It's insane, and it's because it's kid friendly. It still has that Lego style comedy to it, where Lego Bane, in the middle of doing his monologue from the Christian Bale, Dark Knight Rises movie, of you think that darkness is your ally. I was born into it, molded by it. By the time I saw the light of day, it was blinding. And he's like, ow, 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 what was that? And he steps on a red Lego piece. This could have hurt somebody. And so it's just like, that's Lego.
That's funny.
That's the Lego way, is they'll take a known scene, from, pop culture, movie, gaming history, and just put their flair of comedy on it. And it's great to see. So like I said, if there's people that miss a good Batman game, but yet don't want to replay the same game again, you can only play Arkham City so many times before you're like, can they just do this again? This Lego game looks really fucking close, real. Like, there's remote control batarangs. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's.
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying, when you picture a Lego game, like Lego Marvel Avengers, it was just like, I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm just saying, you're just fighting Lego pieces with different skins and different characters. Like, no, Drill, there's like legit Rocksteady level mechanics, but slightly simplified, knowing their audience might be more on the younger side. Like, I'm saying it's like an IP gaming style that's definitely meant for the old Arkham heads like us, but nothing preventing a parent from buying the new Lego new Lego game for their kid. And it looks really fucking good.
I'm excited. That sounds really great. I gotta check out that trailer.
Yeah, it's just really funny. Just like, molded by it. By the time I saw it, it was blinding. Ow! Ow! Who put this? Who put this here? Ow! I
see a few things here as far as
Silk Song is like confirmed, but I have a conspiracy theory that I'm actually nervous about Silk Song.
Really?
Because we've yet to get a proper trailer for it. So even during the Gamescom, it was literally just him talking, Jeff Keighley saying, Silk Song will exist. Here's the announcement. Here's the release date. Here's the consoles it's releasing for. And while he's talking, there's like gaming with no audio footage playing behind him. And this similar happened at the Nintendo Switch thing, where they're like, yeah, here's the Switch 2. And they're like, coming soon. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. And people are like, what? This game's there? And so a part of me is like nervous or like concerned why we haven't had an actual proper gameplay trailer and not like B-roll ad footage to play with no audio in the background. Because this is such an anticipated game. Such an anticipated game for their player base. So the fact, like I said, we've yet to have a true trailer is like Is there a reason why we've only heard about this game at like a in passing at a Nintendo conference, and then in the background while Jeff Keighley said it has a release date? So I don't know. Um, in terms of like memorable moments, again to wrap it up here, because there is a lot. We gotta talk about it. Just it feels like the days of the old Call of Duty, back to the Call of Duty Battlefield rivalry. Dude, to play the Battlefield 6 beta and then to see the new Battlefield 7 trailer, chef's kiss. Chef's chef's kiss, dude. It looks so bad. It like I said, people are like, I want to play Control. No, we have Control at home because it's like this weird, warpy, mind-bending aspect to some of the maps in the world, and also it's like I haven't played Call of Duty in forever, but they have Michael Rooker playing somebody, and I'm like, wasn't he a character in a game like 4 games ago? So is his character back? I haven't played a Call of Duty game in forever, but I don't know. Like it was, I still love that the number one comment on their actual trailer for the longest time, I think officially got beat out, was their number one comment in their video was, "This made me want to pre-order Battlefield 6."
Ah, yeah, man. I mean, I think Black Ops 7 is a joke. And it's for, and if it's for those COD players, and they love that shit, they want to eat that shit up. Like, I have a ball, but just stay away from Battlefield 6. Like, don't try to change Battlefield 6 into your Call of Duty bullshit. Stay over there. Do that stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, Battlefield 6, I'm more and more excited for that, and yeah, they can keep that COD every year bullshit nonsense, So crazy stuff. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of different stuff that they released. It looks like Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. There's going to be a DLC expansion coming out in the fourth, around the corner here, actually, which is really interesting. They're going to release Delta Force on console, but I'm not going to touch that since Battlefield 6 is coming out. I'm surprised Lords of the Fallen 2 is actually going to be coming out next year. I didn't know the game actually did that well.
It was a cinematic
Um,
trailer, nothing really gameplay too
oh, okay.
much.
No
Yeah,
gameplay
yeah.
shown. Okay. I'm kind of curious about, and I know people are kind of over zombie games, like rightfully so, right? Because we just had a whole fucking skew of them ever since Left 4 Dead really perfected it. Um, but the John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, I guess it's still happening, and that's one that's kind of been like, I feel like it's been in development hell because we've seen a multitude of different stuff. Um, Absolutely. So I'm curious to see if that's going to be any good, but we'll see. Last topic here in the show, and we've had this as the last topic before, but it's connected to our DNA when it comes to the games and the Game Informer stuff. And wanted to talk about Game Informer. Arthur, I'm gonna have you lead this one.
Oh, I just have a short observation. It's be quick, nothing in depth. I don't know how their new covers choices are working. I would like to see more. I would like to see better heavy hitters for their covers because, mind you, I understand because they're back to print, so therefore the stuff has to be locked in well in advance. So I feel bad that I'm sure their first return print edition was locked in battle in for Borderlands 4 long before Randy Pitchford opened his fucking mouth. And I was like, yeah, it's $80. If you're a fan, you'll make it happen. You'll reach into your pocket and make it happen. I can only imagine how the people at Game Informer were so fucking pissed. And then their newest cover is. I'm not saying the game is bad. I'm just surprised because I feel like this is a niche game. Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2 as their newest cover. Looks sick. Um, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's bad. It just like I
You're
don't
like,
know.
you're like that. You're like that. You chose that for the cover of this next
Yeah,
issue. Yeah, I
yeah.
understand that.
I'm not. I'm just like a little disappointed, mind you. I think it's because the last time I was truly like reading these things, like the day they came out, back when we were employed by the old owner of Game Informer, it was like I said, like Arkham City, Arkham Knight. You know what I mean? Mortal Kombat. Like Injustice 2. You know what I mean? Um. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm glad Game Informer is back. Um, it just sucks that the timing of everything is so far. Like I said, I wish their covers are more heavy hitting titles. Um, especially like I said, like after Gamescom, you know, I wonder what the next title would be. I'll be upset if it's Call of
Yeah.
Duty. um,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thing. Is like I'm glad they're back. Like I said, we get another option for gaming journalism because a lot of the ones that's been out and about suck. At the same time, it's like no one's really using their articles as like quotes, or like bits as like sources. But yeah, like so that's just really my two. That's just really my 2 cents is um is because they're print. Like I said, because they're print, they're at the mercy of timing and planning, and just sometimes you can't always predict what's gonna be the next big thing once this some of the stuff is locked in well in advance. Like I think if Rennie Pitchford didn't make that controversy, I think the Borderlands 4 cover would have been more of like a celebratory return of Game Informer than oh shit.
Right.
The cover is Randy Pitchford's fucking mouth.
Yeah, being Randy Pitchford. That's a really good point. As far as like, it's almost like by the time they release it, it's like completely outdated because of the bullshit that's been happening. So it's like, damn, like we didn't even want to do this in the first place.
Yeah.
Understandable. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up here for the Games for Life podcast. Again, each year, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is Arthur Thomas.
That's me.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.